Alright guys, we're on to Shadow Priest. Now this one I know a lot better than my warrior. I do it a lot more, you know, I lead the raid group, all that good stuff, so I actually like to learn about this class. Now, a few quick things, same as the previous videos, so with Fury and Arms Warrior, we're going to be talking about Reforge Light, which reforges for you. You can do presets in that, which I'd rather have you Google since I'm not the best at explaining it and I'm not the best at doing them. So you can research Reforged Light on your own since I'm not the best at it. But basic things, hit to 17%, that is hit capped. Very hard to get exactly that. I'm 0.1 off because of Reforged Light, it put me at 0.1 off. Where my gear is at, the only issue I'm having is the haste breakpoints that are important to us are 30%. And 32.75% haste. And what 30% is an extra tick off of Vamp Blood, and 32.75, or maybe it's... I actually think it might be 31.75, I would aim for 32 though, is an extra tick off of Devouring Plague, which is important. So, I'd look into those. What? Oh, all my key bindings are messed up. God dang it, that sucks. Well, moving on from that. We all get that. I will be explaining the DPS rotation for a non-4-piece Shadow Priest and a 4-set Shadow Priest. There's two different rotations, and there's two different things with, I will also give a macro that does a cast sequence for the 4-set Shadow Priest, and that'll help out a few people. So how I like to start out the fight, saying I don't have 4-set, is obviously make sure you're buffed up, is casting Vamp Blood. So when they're counting down, you're going, oh, Vampiric Blood, and then Shadow Word Pain immediately after, Devouring Plague, Mind Flay. So you just continually spam those. Always keep Mind Blast on cooldown with at least one Shadow Orb. If you don't have at least one Shadow Orb, don't do it. The other thing is I have a trinket that gives me a ridiculous amount of haste. It's this one. So that's nice. So you'll basically repeat that over and over and over. The same with any other classes. You'll want to pop all your cooldowns at the start. The reason I haven't is I'm going to show you the the 4-set Shadow Priest rotation after this. And normally I have Power Auras on, which I'll go ahead and throw on here so you can see what those look like. What my Power Auras does is it keeps track of my dots. Normally the add-on I had above their heads, it will work. The reason it doesn't normally work is a boss is a little bit taller than I am and I sit below him. So I have it so if my target doesn't have Shadow Word Pain on, Shadow Word Pain shows down here in a little square, but if it does, it goes away. The reason I do that is because I'm constantly refreshing it, and there's no point in me caring about it. Alright, so for the Shadow Priest 4-set rotation, known as the Burst rotation, I'll start off fresh. When my dots fall off, I'll get rid of my Evangelism, and I'll get rid of Shadow Orbs, and we'll move on from there. As you can see, my Shadowy Aberrations keep giving me 3 Shadow Orbs. I'll click it off here, and I got 3, so that's part of the 4-set, I believe. Yes, the 4-set. So what's different about a Shadow Priest when he gets his 4-set is you learn a burst rotation, and you want to use it every single cooldown that you can. And the reason for that is it is a lot of burst DPS. I'll show you here in just a sec. I'll go ahead and reset my recount. So the tank's counting down. He's going 3, 2, 1. You can pre-pot if you want. I normally don't because we aren't doing super hardcore progression where I need a pre-pot. And you'll pop Mind Flay right when he pulls, and then Mind Flay again. This will give you your Archangel. Now, what's awesome about your Archangel is it increases the damage done by your Mind Blast and Mind Spike. Those are your two main abilities that are going to be getting popped repeatedly right now. So, after you've Mind Flayed 2 times, you will pop Archangel. And then you will pop your Shadowfiend. I have mine in a cast sequence. So the reason I have it in a cast sequence is I'm lazy and I don't like to push a lot of buttons, so I have it to numlock 2, cast Shadowfiend. and then from there it will cast 3 Mind Spikes, and then a Mind Blast, 3 Mind Spikes, a Mind Blast, and then you continue your rotation set as normal, which is Vamp Blood, Shadow Word Pain, Devouring Plague. So, we'll start off for real this time, and I'll show you the burn rotation. So it's Mind Flay, Archangel, Shadowfiend, and this is where you start bursting. Only when you have the 3 Shadow Orbs you're going to do this, so as you can see, it's quite a bit of damage from them. I don't pop my Troll Racial, and the reason for that is you don't want to cast faster than your Shadowfiend can hit. So as you can see there, I almost bursted 30k, and immediately after I applied my dots. Right when you finish that, you want to apply your dots, obviously, because your rotation gets set back to normal. You want to try to refresh Vamp Blood a second before it's about to fall off, so you get the most out of it. And you will continually spam Mind Flay, basically. All your dots, you want to clip them. Clipping them means you want to refresh them at the last second possible. As you can see, I did it a few times there. It will be longer if you have 30% haste. It will go to 17 seconds instead of 15. I've recently been getting DI in our raid group, so it's a little bit different for me. And that's basically the rotation right here. And as you deal damage with raid buffs, you'll have a little bit more crit. Right now I have, where is it, 16%. It will be about 20% with full raid buffs. A little bit higher, maybe. That was my mistake there. I pushed the wrong button. And what that will do is you will crit a lot more with Mind Flay, causing your Shadowfiend to be I've only had it a couple times on a few fights where it isn't at the same time. But most of the time, right when Archangel comes off cooldown, so does Shadowfiend. And what that allows you to do is allows you to repeat your burn phase, and you can burn the target. So that's the gist of Shadow Priest. It's really simple, especially once you learn dot clipping. Once you get that down, it's pretty simple. If I had a legendary staff, which I'm not going to waste my time since MOP, it's coming out soon, I'm not going to waste the weeks and weeks of getting it. Since we are a 10-man. If you have it, your burn rotation is going to be amazing. With pre-pots and full raid buffs and everything, Bloodlust, all that good stuff, I've had Mind Spikes crit for 115k, 130k. Your legendary staff, duplicating that, hitting for 130k again, is really, really nice. So it is a lot of DPS if you have a legendary staff. A lot more than dots duplicating. But obviously, once you're done with your burn phase, you want to immediately switch to your dot phase, which is continually refreshing dots just before they fall off and spamming Mind Flay. Now, I pop Berserking just after the burn phase so that my dots have a little bit more haste to them. And with Shadow Word Death, I mean, the only fight I use it on sometimes is Madness when he's not below 25% HP. Just because you're going through mana so quickly, and there you go. It gives me 12k mana, which is really, really nice. But other than that, you will always keep that on cooldown when the target is below 25%. Because of the glyph, as I talked about in the previous video, it resets the cooldown. And it does that once. You get, boom, Shadow Word Death, and then another Shadow Word Death. So that's really nice. And that's the gist of DPSing as a Shadow Priest. I gotta go redo my key bindings, because for whatever reason the game decided to put its own key bindings from another character in, which is a little annoying, but I guess I gotta deal with it. I guess I could just switch these two. There we go, that works. There we go, that's the main key binding I wanted, was shift space for my extra action button for fights that I need that. So there you go, guys, that's a Shadow Priest DPS. It's pretty simple. Now we can burst targets like this. I mean, the reason I don't apply dots first is you don't want, Mind Spike knocks them off, so don't worry about them. So yeah, that's the burst rotation. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can like, favorite, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I will be releasing more. I have a few more characters to go. So let me know what you guys thought.